The media, all over the news. Andrew Tate's the worst man that's ever been. Andrew Tate's a human trafficker. Andrew Tate's a crime boss. He's a crime lord. Andrew Tate has all this money from illicit activities. Every penny I've ever made, all of my bank accounts seized. 15 million euros of assets were taken from me. They've been through every single bank transfer that I've ever sent. All of it, head to toe, to put this indictment together.
Between both Tate brothers, there are now dozens of women across Romania, the US and the UK saying that they trafficked, raped and or beat them. As a result, there are now many civil and criminal cases against these degenerates to cover across multiple countries. So this video is going to serve as a general case update to cover a number of developments that transpired in the past week, starting with some news out of the country that the Tates fled to Romania from, the UK. On the 25th of June, a High Court judge ruled to move the trial date for Andrew Tate's civil case forward to the 22nd of June 2026. It was initially scheduled for the 27th of February 2027. So this ruling now means that this trial will now happen significantly sooner. The 4 women behind the lawsuit bring allegations of violent rape and assault, including one alleging that in 2015, he grabbed her by the throat, put a gun to her face and assaulted her with a belt. The High Court's judge told the court in London, "We just need to make this happen really. It's not in anyone's interests that this case goes into the long grass of 2027. A spokesperson for Tate has said that he of course denies the charges, and said that it is deeply troubling that such graphic and one-sided accounts are being publicised before any judicial assessment has taken place. This, coming from a spokesperson for Andrew Tate, is just absurd. Even if we look at the alleged victims in this case alone, for years now, Tate has been lying to his 10 million followers on Twitter, saying that they don't exist or that he doesn't know them.
Then the BBC says, well, we found victims. So they have a girl with a fake name called Sophie. They don't show her face. They ask me, what do you think about Sophie? How can I comment on Sophie when Sophie isn't real? Firstly, you've made her up. Secondly, I don't know who you're talking about. You're saying that 9 years ago, I was emotionally controlling? What does that mean? 9 years ago, I said you shouldn't party with those guys in the club? Is that what I said? I don't know what I said. I don't know who she is, if she exists at all.
But with me, they've been attacking me for a solid year and a half, to the point where they had to make up people. Sophie, 13 years ago, you said to Sophie, make me a coffee. You're evil. Tried to destroy my reputation and my life by extension.
What comment do you want me to? If this person even exists, which they don't, then I destroy the BBC, make it very clear to them that Sophie doesn't exist, on repeat, because she doesn't. And 2 days later, Alice appears.
It's all made up names.
It's all made up names. So Evie,
we could call whatever name we want. But
yeah, Evie is saying 13 years ago I choked her or something. You can get, any man on earth can get screwed with that. If this person exists at all. And she literally, they said, why are you coming forward now? And I think this actor, the person literally said, because now he's rich and famous. They literally said those words. I'm actually such a nice person that I've never had anyone come at me.
The BBC has spoken to somebody since your arrest who says exactly those things, that with you it's all manipulation, there's an ulterior motive to everything you do.
Is this Sophie? Oh, it's Sophie, the fake name, no face. No,
I was so intent on wanting to please him. And
No, I have absolutely zero problems in England. In 2014, I was accused by a girl of hitting her.
If anyone is in any doubt that Tate is lying in these clips, it's unquestionable that he is. In his response to the claims that he submitted to the High Court, Tate made it clear that he knew exactly who each alleged victim was, and gave a detailed recollection of his version of events for the time he spent with each woman. Yet you just heard him say that he didn't know who they are and they don't exist. In a joint statement, the 4 women who brought this case against Andrew Tate said, "We've already spent years waiting for justice, and so it's of some comfort to hear that Andrew Tate will face these allegations in a court earlier than the original plan of 2027. it's important to note that these allegations are completely separate and involve completely separate women to those in the criminal case against both Tate brothers in the UK, as the lawyer for the women in the civil case, Matthew Drury, told the Law and Crime Network last year.
I want to finish it up on this note because I understand, Matthew, you have been speaking quite publicly about your concern over disinformation that has been coming out. If you can briefly explain what you mean by that and how it relates to these recent developments.
Well, I had the unfortunate displeasure of having to watch some of Andrew Tate's so-called, emergency war room alert sessions or whatever he calls them, the other evening. And it's fairly clear what they're trying to do is they're trying to suggest that somehow this extradition request is either as a consequence of the civil case, it's not, or it's connected to the Hertfordshire victims, our clients, it's not. It's actually in respect of additional new complaints brought by additional women on top of the existing complaints and the victims that we already know about, thereby increasing the number of women who have brought allegations of rape and serious sexual violence against Tate. And that's what they're trying to avoid people cottoning on to, that this increases the numbers of women who are out there who are saying that Tate raped them.
Now it is time to take a look at the Tate cases in the US. The Tate's bumbling clown of a lawyer, Joseph McBride, posted an update to Twitter that of course he wrote in the most childish way possible, expressing himself like a 12-year-old as if he wants to be one of the cool kids in Hustlers University. He declared that he had a huge win to announce. Andrew Tate was cleared of criminal charges in Los Angeles. He says that the LA District Attorney rejects Bree Stern's false claims after their team's epic fight to expose lies. Truth triumphs, let's go! McBride attached this email from the Family Violence Division of the Los Angeles DA office, confirming that that particular office has declined to file charges against Emery Andrew Tate. There are a few moronic things about this post from Joseph McBride. Firstly, he's talking as if the fact that the LA District Attorney isn't pressing charges against Andrew Tate is some sort of evidence that Bree Stern lied. This is just silly when you consider the very high standard of proof needed to convict someone of sexual assault. The standard of proof needed for sexual assault cases in California is beyond a reasonable doubt. This is the highest standard of proof in the US justice system and means that a jury must acquit if there is any doubt. Sexual assault and sexual violence cases are notoriously hard to prove. So no, this news does not suggest that Joseph McBride proved that Bree Stern lied. Another thing I need to note about the clown McBride's tweet is that this is not an ongoing criminal case against Tate in California that was dropped. There was never a case in the first place. This is not as notable as, say, if their case in Romania was dismissed, like the Tates have lied about happening multiple times. Yet, in a follow-up tweet, McBride made an utter fool of himself, begging the mainstream media to cover this nothing of a story, and crying that the facts they didn't suggests bias and corruption. The notable thing about this story that Mr. McBride probably doesn't want you to know is that Bree Stern's civil lawsuit against Andrew Tate is still very much active. I will be sure to share any updates in this lawsuit as they come. The last update I have to share in this video concerns Andrew Tate's baby brother Tristan. You may have seen me in recent weeks reporting that Tristan Tate was under criminal investigation for election interference after he urged Romanian voters on election day to vote for the pro-Tate candidate, George Simeon.
If you are a young man and you do not care about politics, you're not interested in politics, you're not interested in voting, I get it. Neither was I at your age. And I watched my own country turn to shit. And I live in regret with that because England is now almost beyond saving. What you're going to do if you vote for the wrong man today is you are going to slide down a toilet of degeneracy, immigration, LGBTQ plus agendas in your school and on your streets. And it will be 30 years before anyone brave enough comes along to stand up to the European Union and the then status quo of Romania, which is going to be the same as Western Europe in all of its failures. So I urge you all to do the right thing and vote for George A. Simeon. As I said, I'm not campaigning. I'm an American citizen exercising my right to free speech. I'm here in Dubai using an American platform. I've broken no laws. We'll see what happens. But I'm not scared of these people, and you shouldn't be either. Please vote for the right person today. Love you.
As I covered in my recent video about Tristan being investigated for election interference, it is a crime in Romania and a number of other countries to campaign for a presidential candidate on election day. This story was initially reported by Romanian journalist Mircea Barbu. Following Tristan being questioned for this by the Romanian police on Tuesday, Barbu reported that according to his sources at the police station in Bucharest, the police dropped this case and there would be no sanctions. The reason that Mircea's sources gave for this case being dropped was that he made these posts from Dubai and outside of Romania, and that according to the police, they had no jurisdiction. But as Mircea pointed out, according to the Romanian Penal Code, an offence is deemed committed where the criminal act was carried out, in whole or in part, or where its consequences occurred. Meaning that it doesn't matter if Tate posted from Dubai, if his posts had an effect on Romanian voters inside Romania, Romanian authorities have jurisdiction. Mircea's speculations for why the police gave this reasoning were that the police simply didn't know the law, they know the law but chose to ignore it, suggesting complicity by omission, or they intentionally misled the press, claiming no jurisdiction to cover up or minimize the offense. As Mircea correctly says, none of these reasons are good. Aside from what any of us think about the Romanian election laws, I've stated previously that as an Australian, I find these strict election laws in Romania and other countries strange. But going by the laws in Romania, this is another case of the Tates being treated with kiddie gloves and being given special treatment, despite the Tates constantly whining about being treated so unfairly. They have had a dream ride, not only in this instance of the election interference laws not being applied to Tristan, but they have been given incredible leeway when it comes to things like them spreading blatant lies and propaganda about their ongoing cases, or using their large social media platforms to conduct blatant witness and victim intimidation. After all of this, with his election interference investigation being dropped, Tristan had the nerve to post on Twitter, "Freedom of speech reigns supreme." He says this, of course, while he and his idiot brother are blatantly attacking free speech by suing myself and a number of other individuals for telling the truth about them. I will not be silenced or intimidated by these pathetic children. I will continue to report the truth about their legal troubles, their scams, and their childish, embarrassing lies. If you would like to support our defense against Andrew and Tristan Tate, you can go to freespeechversustate.com. In the meantime, make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you don't miss any updates.